A sea of red packed our state capitol with a simple message.
The money is not coming.
25 years of experience only gets you $5,000 of a pay raise. That's just insane.
Students fighting for their teachers.
I'm urging our leaders to prioritize public education.
Teachers will constantly continue to give their all, but without the real support, it would not be enough.
Today, let's show our students that they matter.
For educators, this was more than a rally. It was a fight for their classrooms.
I cannot continue to feel like a failure. I'm not going to be able to do what's best for my students in our current situation.
WFMY News 2 team coverage starts right now.
Educators and their supporters flooded the state capitol today, pushing for more funding from lawmakers. Good evening, I'm Chet Silber.
And I'm Julie Luck. For several hours, teachers held up signs, chanted, and demanded more money from legislators. We don't know exactly how many educators, parents, and students showed up, but based off of this helicopter footage, we can guarantee it was in the thousands.
You've heard the main goal of this rally was to demand lawmakers take action on a state budget. Lawmakers haven't passed one in years. Several proposals offer pay raises for teachers.
Teachers will constantly continue to give their all, but without the real support, it would not be enough. As I learned in Mr. Fuss's classes, it's the constitutional duty of the North Carolina General Assembly to provide every student with a sound and basic education. That means fully funding our schools. Fully fund our schools.
And kicking off our team coverage from Raleigh tonight, WFMY News 2's Manning Franks spent the day with local educators.
Now, for those of you that have been following me since this morning, you know that I started my day in Winston-Salem and then took a bus to Raleigh with the Forsyth County Association of Educators. And now here I am ending my day in Raleigh following a sea of red from North Carolina's educators. Along the way, I met countless teachers who shared why they were here. For some, it was teacher pay. For others, public school funding. And for many, it was all of the above.
I see every day the impact of the decisions made by the local government and the state government and how they affect children. And I'm here to stand up for the kids.
About 10 years ago, I came out here and it was like this same excitement as well. And I'm glad I'm able to stand here and say the same thing again.
Some teachers, specifically those from Winston-Salem Forsyth County schools, felt an even greater need to show up today, not just for themselves, but for their students.
This year has been pretty hard for us in Forsyth County. I'm an EC teacher, and my kids deserve everything they can get, and our resources are limited now. We need more resources for our children, so we need state to stand up for us.
Whose schools?
We need change. Change is very well needed. It's past due. And with the lack of funding, things are going to get worse.
While it won't solve every issue, teachers that I spoke with hope state lawmakers can pass a budget before the end of the summer. To them, it'll be a small step in the right direction. In Raleigh, I'm Manning Franks, WFMY News 2.
Manning, thank you. WFMY News 2's Kevin Kennedy also weaved through the crowd today, hearing stories from educators and others.
Good afternoon from downtown Raleigh. I'm standing in front of an empty Halifax mall right now, but earlier today it was packed with a sea of red. About 10,000 educators, supporters, staff, parents, and kids showing up here for a rally and march in downtown Raleigh. The rally and march, dubbed Kids Over Corporation. Educators are calling on our legislators to better fund the public education system. Money that would not only go to teacher salaries, but also resources. Many teachers I spoke with tell me they simply don't have the support they need to do their job to the best of their ability. And they worry about not only the now, but the future. If these tax breaks continue to get lower and lower, at that point, where will the money come from then?
We are here to tell our lawmakers that they need to invest in our students and in our public schools. We have continued to see year after year educators doing more and more with less, and it's time to make a different choice and to choose our students for the success of North Carolina.
Teacher funding is very important to us. Without teachers, who gives the education? I mean, this really isn't about Democrat, Republican. left, right. This is about our students and the funding that our schools need, the funding our teachers need to be able to supply things for their students, to be there for their students, but also just to make a living to support their own families. They put a lot of time and their own money into their classrooms. I see it every day. I mean, who educated the politicians? They just didn't wake up and get born and go into office. They had a teacher that taught them, that educated them, that put them in office.
I spoke with another teacher earlier today and asked her if she would be teaching 5 years from now. She paused for a second and said, yes. Then she said, I just don't know if it'll be in North Carolina. In downtown Raleigh, I'm Kevin Kennedy, WFMY News 2.
You've heard plenty about how this rally was designed to get the attention of lawmakers. WFMY News 2's Ben Briscoe tried to figure out if it's working.
As thousands marched around the Capitol today, the question now is, will that energy actually transfer here inside the chamber to have something happen at the state level?
We are fighting for funding for our schools.
Educators took a step towards getting their message to the people in power, marching at the Capitol as some lawmakers watched on.
It's a good way for us to fight for better funding.
It's time to make some changes. Enough is enough.
They're, favoring tax cuts for the wealthy over valuing the education of our students.
I think our pay scale is bananas.
Some lawmakers from the Triad showed up to the rally saying they know the community is frustrated.
We need to pass a state budget. We are the only state in the country without a budget, and teacher pay has actually gone down 1% because of that lack of budget, because the budget was dated 3 years ago. And today the reality is things cost more, inflation, teachers deserve to be paid more. We must pass the budget.
You've been a teacher, you're now a state lawmaker. What's the chance that something's really going to change?
I think there's always a chance that something can change. We just need 3.5% of the population to stand up and demand what needs to happen right now, and that's not a large number. So we saw a good percent show up here today, but the families and the community members need to rise with the teachers and employees to get that message through.
Why 3.5%?
Somehow that's just like the magic scientific number. We start to see momentum. We start to see people who can't ignore the emails, they can't ignore the phone calls and the postcards and letters and the people knocking on their door.
So what happens next? Well, the best thing that you can do, according to the rally leaders, is to keep reaching out to your lawmakers, these people right here. Let them know how you feel one way or another, because they are back in session soon. From Raleigh, Ben Briscoe, WFMY News 2.
Ben, thank you. Right now, multiple proposed budgets would give teachers a pay bump. Governor Josh Steins would raise pay by 11%. Another proposal in the House would raise it even more. According to a new report, North Carolina will potentially fall to 46th in teacher pay next school year.
For Republican lawmakers, some agree teachers deserve better pay, but not necessarily all of them believe that it should be a priority. Here's what local state Senator Amy Galey had to say.
We fund children's educations. We don't fund systems. I heard a school superintendent say a few years ago, the system does not exist for the benefit of the people who work for it. It exists to produce better outcomes for children. And that is the focus of the Senate, and that has been my focus as a senator. And I think that's what taxpayers want.
Maybe you remember the last time teachers held a rally like this. It was back in 2019, but the message was much the same, pushing for more pay and school funding. If you'd like to watch our 1-hour special coverage of today's rally, you can check it out on WFMY Plus. Download Plus on your TV and watch for free.
Moving to our other top stories today, a scary situation in Greensboro this morning. 2 people are in the hospital after a dump truck crashed into a house. WFMY News 2's Christina Dillon joins us now with what happened and a look at the damage.
Neighbors here say it all happened so fast. 1 minute, a normal morning. The next, a dump truck crashed into a home on Vandalia Road. Lisa Thomas says this is the last thing she was expecting.
Today is my husband's birthday, and what a day to wake up to, a bunch of action, a bunch of boom. Because it was, a very, very loud boom.
She says around 9 this morning, she heard a noise and ran outside. What she found, a dump truck lodged into her next door neighbor's home. She says she quickly called him. He was at work at the time.
Where he usually sit is where the dump truck hit. You know, he had his little dog in the house, you know, but he's okay. Everybody's okay, you know. The house not okay.
Greensboro police say 2 people were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. They confirm those injured were the dump truck driver and the driver of another vehicle. The crash remains under investigation. Thomas says the dump truck came through her yard before hitting the house.
It did come through our yard. You can see the tire tracks.
The homeowner declined to speak with us, but was back at the scene later, cleaning up with his dog by his side. Thomas says the silver lining here.
The good news is everybody is okay. The children are out of school today. So, you know, yeah, it could have been a lot worse. It really could have.
We also spoke with the owner of the dump truck company at the scene. He tells us his driver was taken to the hospital with a possible chest injury, but is stable.
Christina, thank you. Police have charged 2 more teenage girls connected to that deadly park shootout in Winston-Salem that killed 2 teenagers and wounded 5 others. Police charged 2 15-year-olds for inciting a riot, but aren't revealing their identities unless they're charged as adults. Police have now charged 7 people related to the fighting prior to the shootout, but no one is charged with actually shooting someone. Investigators say they're releasing information as they're able.
New at 6 o'clock, another longtime Greensboro restaurant closes. Positano Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria served its final meal yesterday. The business on Lawndale Drive opened 25 years ago. The restaurant says any Positano gift cards and rewards can be honored at Elizabeth's Pizza on Lawndale.
The city of Charlotte is about to enact water restrictions amid the drought. Expert advice for conserving water next.
Obviously, we need the rain, but where is it? That Saturday rain chance tomorrow, it's going down. I've got the latest hour by hour for your weekend next.